Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Ranting Blue Penguin's channel. I am Tim, the Ranting Blue Penguin, broadcasting live from my studio because I can't make it out to Greenville tonight to actually watch the game, and I really wish I could be there. It's going to be a great game. It's always a good chance when we have a rivalry with those guys. So, really looking forward to this game. They play us tough. It's top of the table clash tonight. So I really think we're going to see some exciting soccer tonight, and it's a really good way to open up your weekend. Now it is the rivalry. It's the clash for the belt. There is this beautiful green wrestling belt that has been in Omaha's possession for about 11 months, and we're going to hope that tonight we can continue to stay in possession of that belt. But it's not always easy. They've always played us really well, and it's not going to be a guarantee that we're going to come out of there with that belt. Anything besides a loss, though, and we will be bringing it back, and they can come back later in the year and try to take it from us. But we do want all the 3 points because, as you will notice from the table, we're 3 points behind them. We have 2 games in hand. You can see the form that we've had recently. Anything less than a win tonight, Greenville is going to stay on top of the table, and it's entirely possible with Ford Madison playing later that they could jump us into second place. It's also possible if we only draw that Charlotte at some point could end up tying us on points. We would still make the tiebreaker off of goal differential unless they have some weird swing where they're getting a whole lot of goals there. So tonight actually matters. It actually means something, not just to the team, not just to the supporters for the belt, but also in the context of the standings. We do have a better points per game record than they do, obviously, because we have 2 games in hand from them. But we'll see what we get to roll out tonight. As for the starting lineups, we don't have the starting lineups quite yet, but I will start with something else that I'd like to start talking about is let's see who the referees are for the night. So the referees for tonight's match will be, here we go. As you can see, Andrew Musashi. We got Sean Michael Kemp on the assistants, as well as Colin Ashley. Fourth official is going to be Promise Adebayo Ige. And this is going to be one of those interesting matches. Andrew, the last time that Andrew refereed a USL League One game was the Chattanooga Tormenta match there. That was earlier this year, June 22nd. And if you remember, Nick Akoto had a completely inexplicable red card. Don't understand what he was thinking, but it was one of those really easy decisions to send somebody off. But when you look back at Andrew's history, he did some MLS work early in 2024, so take that for what you will. But he has not issued less than 4 cards in a match since 2016, at least in a professional match, since 2016, and that was an NWSL match. So he has been doing it for a while. He has got a lot of experience, but he does seem to like the cards. And there's been several of his matches where somebody ends up with a red card, either straight red or a couple of yellows. So with the physicality that Union Omaha is going to bring tonight, or that they usually bring, and their penchant for some tactical fouls here and there, they're going to have to be really careful with how they handle this. And we're going to hope that Andrew's having a good night and he's not going to just give cards willy-nilly for nothing. If it's deserved, it's deserved. But we want to see this match end 11-on-11. That's when Omaha and Greenville really are at their best, when they're having a good struggle and the ref just kind of lets them play and kind of lets them do what they need to do. So with that, we will tell you this is what Greenville's lineup was last time out. The last time they went out, they lost 1-0. They were at home. They lost to Lexington because for some reason Lexington decides that they want to show up when it's an actual cup match. But this is the way that they rolled out the last time we had them. So you can see goalkeeper there was Gunther Reckenberg, Nate Schultz. You had Jamie Smith back there. Jamie Smith is going to be one of those defenders that he's just kind of all over the place. And if he actually is starting tonight, he is a pretty dangerous person and very good for their morale, very good for their work ethic. You see there Daniel Wu. Wu was suspended. He had a red card, which was 2 yellows actually in that game, so he won't be available for Greenville tonight. There's Oliver Hild. Luis Herrera, Benzikowski, Liam McKinnon. If you don't know who Liam McKinnon is, you haven't been watching League One all of that often. Sebastian Velasquez, despite the P there, that's actually B. I'll talk to my graphics guys about the typo there. Evan Lee was the captain, and Leo Castro was up front. And then you see the bench that they have, people like Tyler Pollock, people like Brandon Fricky, Zion Scarlett, who's really been an up-and-comer and one of those good young players. They've got a lot of talent there, and so I would not expect them to do much different than what they tried to do at Lexington. The Lexington, they had 26 shots, only 3 of them on target. It's really hard to overcome a second-minute goal when that's what you've got, but they have the talent. They have the people there to do it. So I would not expect to see them try to do too much differently against a high-powered Omaha. They're going to defend well. They're going to attack. They're going to be aggressive, especially if you listened to the assistant coach and the Greenville Liberty, the Triumph, Liberty, and Pursuit of Happiness podcast this week. He talked about how they like to be aggressive, how they don't like to play in transition, how they like to really control that game. And I would expect nothing less from Greenville. Rick Wright has got them in the right place. He's got them at the top of the table for a reason. And you can see a lot of the stuff that they tend to do and that they try to do really with the players that they have, and it's working. Despite the fact that they've had a lot of key pieces leave, when you look at specifically people like Liam McKinnon who have picked up all of the goal scoring, he continues to impress. He's got 8 goals for him this year. He's got 3 assists, leading the league in goal contributions as well. So somebody like that, you're going to have to keep an eye on, and it would surprise me if he's not in the lineup, if there's an injury or something like that that we don't know about, but he's not showing on the injured list. So whoever they're going to replace Daniel Wu with, I would expect this to be similar to what we can expect them to try to do against us tonight. And with that, I'm going to do a little bit of a cop out here because this one is supposed to be who I think Union Omaha is going to go with, but it's going to look a lot like who we actually, what we actually did. If I can find, there's the graphic. So this is what I'm expecting, and this is what I'm predicting out of the Union Omaha match tonight, and out of the starting lineup. It's pretty much the same lineup we had the last time we went out. The only difference there is that we'll see Mishak on the bench. We'll see Norte on the bench. Zako's on there. Misael Rodriguez. I'm really looking to see if Isaac comes back in a little bit more than the last 10 or 15 minutes of the match. I'd like to see him get some more time. But this is kind of one of our standard strong 11 formations. And you can expect to see Dion over there on the right, pushing up, trying to break into that defense, trying to halt some of the flow and some of the aggressiveness that Greenville's going to bring. Also expect Blake. He's a mainstay back there. Luca and Marco. I cannot expect that a top of the table clash would be out there without them. PC Pedro, as he goes, so goes our attack. You've heard me mention that a lot. And if he can get forward, if the crew can get him forward, get him the ball, and get him playing it out to either Joe or providing some space for Aaron Gomez there, Steven Dos Santos, or just getting it to Lagos and letting Lagos dribble around. But the key pivot there seems to be Pedro. And so I would expect us to line up something like this, and I would expect our bench to look something like that over there on the right. All of that said, who knows? This is just a prediction, but this is what I would throw out. Of course, I expect Rashid to be the captain, as he always will be, and we'll see if we can actually break down this really tough Greenville defense. That they don't allow a lot of goals. They've got the same goal differential as we do. They're at +9. So the winner of this match, it's really going to be about who can execute their offense, who can execute their game plan, and who's not going to make the mistakes in the back. That's something that has plagued Union Omaha a lot of recent, is that we get a little comfortable, we switch off a little bit. Didn't hurt us too badly in the last match with a 4-2 victory over Lexington. However, it is something that can come back to haunt you, and we have seen it in the past. We've seen it with Northern Colorado coming back and getting points. We saw it with Spokane Velocity in the first Jaeger Cup match, where they won late. It's something that you can't switch off against good teams. So that's really going to be key to this is who maintains their head about them, who keeps their discipline, and who keeps those mistakes down as low as they can be. So with that, we do have the lineup out, and it looks like I think I may have gotten it exactly right down to who is on the bench. So I will show you here in just a second. There we go. We are going to share. This is from the Union Omaha Twitter page. And as you can see, that's who we've got. We got Nuhu, Malone, Mastrantonio, Milanese, Dianakov, PC, Dolabello, Gallardo, Lagos Kunga, Gomez, Dos Santos. I didn't get them in quite the right order, but I did get the correct starting 11 there. And then even the bench, we've got Isaac Bawa, Mishak Jerome, Brandon Knapp. Actually, he may be. Nope, I had him on there. I had him on the list. That's good. So, yep, Wallace Lapsley for goal. Zako Lewis is back. Norty and Misael Rodriguez bringing up the bench. So it looks like we've got a bunch of good super subs. We've got a lot of people that can provide some impact, and we've got our strongest 11 out there to try to keep control of the midfield and try to keep everything steady. I would not have expected anything less out of Dom. He's going to take this game seriously, not just because it's a belt match, not just because it's a rivalry, but because it's a league match. He goes out there and he tries to win every match he can, and there's no excuse not to put out your strongest 11. So I think we've got a really good shot here, and it's all going to come down to, like I said, those mental mistakes and making sure that the guys can execute the way that we know we can execute. We are waiting a little bit. Greenville has not yet released their starting lineup. At least they haven't released it onto Twitter yet. So I will say that this team is a team that we draw a lot. We've only ever had one 0-0 draw, but we had 4 consecutive draws prior to our last victory at Greenville, which is a 1-2 back in August of 23, when we had that big run of 14, 15 unbeaten to end the season. But they drew us a lot, and that was one of the reasons why they kept the belt in Greenville for 14 months, and it was a long 14 months. We had to hear about it. We just couldn't break through. We couldn't get that last goal back, or we always end up just giving up an equalizer when it didn't seem like we needed to. So it was very frustrating for those months. Of course, prior we had the match in Greenville where they won 0-2, or in Omaha, sorry, that was 0-2, and that's where they took the belt. And that was the last time they beat us, and that was going up on 2 years now that they haven't actually beaten us. So uh, again, I love playing these guys. I love that it's a rivalry game. I love that there's something on the line, but there's whether it was John Harkes or now Rick Wright, who has followed in those footsteps. It's one of those, it's just a really good rivalry. The other thing too, I want to shout out to the Omaha Parliament members that have actually traveled down to Greenville. This is a really good time to be down in South Carolina. And they're very welcoming. Love the Reedy River Riot guys. I love, Geo, you're on here, you're always giving us banter. It is probably the friendliest of the rivalries. Once we actually get on the pitch, there's a lot of stuff that we try to kick around, and we're bantering back and forth, and nobody wants the other one to get 3 points. But they're a group that I absolutely would have no problem having a beer, maybe a papusa, not using my fork, but maybe have some camaraderie with them. I know in the past there have been inter-supporter groups soccer matches the day before the game, but they're a really fun group, and they really get what soccer rivalries can be about. And it has to be about a love of the game. It doesn't have to be about bitterness or political rivalries or anything like that. It can be about, we love our team, you love your team, but we all love the game. So a big shout out to the Greenville fans and the Reedy River Riot specifically for maintaining that rivalry. It was really the first rivalry we had once we entered League One. They tried to set us up with Madison, and you can call it whether that's a rivalry or not. but they were the first ones that really took this and said, "Yeah, you know what? It'll be fun. Let's have a rivalry. Let's make a big green belt. Let's let the supporters group fight it out." I know the players love it. The players like getting their hands on the belt when they've won it and displaying it and showing it. We've got pictures of Rashid Nuhu there the year we won the championship, holding the belt after we won it over Greenville, as well as the cup. And so they've been a very good, very inviting, fan base, for us to have that rivalry with, so I wanna really appreciate that, and I really wanna shout it out to them, but I hope you guys die in a metaphorical fire tonight, and lose it somewhere like 4-0, 5-0, that would be great for me, but then, raise a glass afterwards and everyone get home safely. So, I'd also really wish that we could get your lineup here. See what else is going on in Greenville. I do believe it's Military Appreciation Night out there, so they're doing a little bit of that. Um, let's see what else. What else we got? There's a pink fire truck out there. That's good. You can get out there and you can touch a truck by the ticket box. That's really cool. We'll show you here a picture of the ticket of the truck. So way better than the car that they have. I'll give them that. My daughter loves pink, so she'd absolutely go nuts over this. But yeah, there here we are. We can now see this is the pink fire truck. So if you're out there, absolutely go take a look at that and enjoy it. All right, so we are still a little bit away. As you can see me refreshing the screen here, we're still a little bit away from being able to see what their lineup's going to be. See, but But yeah, it's gonna be an exciting game, and whoever they throw out at us, they're gonna be ready for us. So, with that, I will give it one last refresh, see if they actually have come out with their lineup, and it seems that they have not. So, I will retweet that out on X when it gets up, but, I hope you enjoy the match, and, if everything goes well, I will see you guys back here after the match for a quick reaction. Thank you for listening. Viva Buos.